Doctor, you are muted, Dr. Joanne.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Morning, everyone. So thank you for spending your time to these the fourth sessions, our UMCOR sharing sessions. Basically, let me introduce our sharing section today. Yeah. Basically, this is the fourth series, and our research clusters is championing the interdisciplinary research, as you are all aware, and that's why we have a lot of activities, right, including the IIRG grants. Also, we encourage the called interdisciplinary research. One of the main challenge, right, in our carrying out this interdisciplinary research is you want to also highlight the visibility of the researcher, especially visibility of the research center in University Malaya. That's why we having this event or part of the cluster initiative to champion our research centers, and hope this will strengthen the interdisciplinary research within UM. Of course, as mentioned, this session is intended to provide a platform for the various UMCOR Center of Research to be visible and to share their experience and expertise and research, so that with the visibility, we will have a better collaborations and better research outcome. So without further delay, let me introduce the first speaker. We have this Datuk Dr. Muhammad Yaakob, Alain Zulkifli Muhammad Yusof. Let me read out a brief biography about our renowned professor. Yang berbahagia Profesor Datuk Dr. Muhammad Yaakob is a professor of Islamic study who strives to make the community understand the Quran and Sunnah. In accordance to the current challenge and environments, he produced and published many works related to the Quranic exegesis and the story with Shira of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He is the panel of various committees at national and foreign level, especially in West Asia. He is a former director, Academy of Islamic Study, University of Malaya, and still holds the position of head of Center for Quranic Research, CQR. Apart from being a chairman at the National Tawfiq Council. So today, we would like to invite Professor Muhammad Yaakob to share about his research center. The floor is yours, Professor. Datuk Professor Muhammad Yaakob. Yeah, we can see your slide. But you are muted, yeah? So please unmute yourself, Datuk. Datuk, can you unmute you? Unmute. Datuk, you are muted. Can you unmute?
Yeah.
Thank you, Datuk. Okay, thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulil Amin. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Actually, I have some obstacles this morning. The TMB technician came to my house and they would like to replace my meter for the electricity. Yeah, in this case, I really have no electric in my house. I use my handphone as a hotspot, mobile data. I use the mobile data. I'm using my handphone, and that's why I asked my sister Akmal to handle for me slideshow. Yeah. I'm very sorry for that. That's why in the beginning I found where is the switch on for mute and unmute button, and where's the video. And then during the time I miss your speech, your words. But it's okay now. They taken the old meter. and now I am in the using the light, very small torchlight, and in order to make sure that I can use this time to present some idea about the Center of Quranic Research.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Prof, for your information about myself. And actually, I am a very small person in this university. And I have some slide about the Center of Quranic Research. And can I ensure that Sister Akmal is there? Akmal, can you? Yeah, Akmal is already on online, eh?
Yeah, Amma is online.
Okay, within this, yeah, because I cannot see actually the slide accordingly. So I use my laptop still have battery to take some note about to tell you some note about my Center of Quranic Research.
Thank you.
Okay, I hope Akmal can conduct the slide well. Eh? The slide is there, Prof?
Yes, we can see the slide, Dato.
Okay, okay, thank you very much. Okay, in short, Center of Quranic Research, or we call CQR, established in February 2010. Yeah, we got a blessing from the Senate, University of Malaya. I think during the time of Professor Tan Sri Gauss, for that time, the Vice Chancellor encouraged us as academicians to conduct multidisciplinary research. And of course, in the Quranic studies, we actually, before this time, we do research as a solid discussion about the Quranic verses and Quranic revealed knowledge, etc. And Tan Sri would like to, Tan Sri want from us to do some multi-discipline research which involve from colleague from different faculties. And starting from there, we set up the proposal, and we got blessing from the Senate after 1 year discussion about this Center of Quranic Research. And 2010, we got license to run a Center of Quranic Research. The issue of the background of the setting this Center of Quranic Research is to handle multidisciplinary research in the Quranic studies, and also to give to create a platform to invite researchers from local and international to deliver and to share their idea in this field. And so far, we handle the center properly, and until now, we still maintain few activities even in the pandemic zone now. Okay, this is some briefing about the background of CQR. And CQR, University of Malaya, is one in this country. No center of Quranic research before we set up this center for University Malaya. Last year, University Kebangsaan Malaysia also found one center of Quranic research and hadith. I think last year, and they still try to find a solution how to move out this center for UKM. And last few weeks, we received invitation from University Sultan Zain Abidin, Uniza, Terengganu. They also have good intention to set up same as CQR in Terengganu, in UNIZA, and ask us to help them to set up a center of Quranic research in their university. And yeah, of course, we welcome for that one. But as a number, we are the first in this country. Vision, as mentioned here, to maintain and promote important Quranic and Islamic research, including any relevant research such as scientific, heritage, or education research. And vision to give the best service to Quranic and Islamic research, together with producing and highlighting and magnificent of scientific discoveries in the Quran. And objective, we have some, many objectives here. Some of to promote the Quran to Quranic and Islamic research through conducting international and conference annually and publish journal papers and international level. For the time being, we maintain this number one, especially after within these 2 years of COVID. we maintain number 1. Number 2, number 3, number 5, number 6, etc. We do based on some what we call based on the situation. For example, if we got a request from people or from any agency who like to involve or to conduct or to join with us to do some activities, so we will say yes. But as a center of Quran research, we are able to maintain with this pandemic, this number 1, to promote the Quranic and Islamic research through conducting international conference annually and publish journal papers at international level. Currently, we still maintain a journal for this center. And this is also our objective number 4, 5, 6, 7. And then our structure organization, I am ahead. Currently I am head for the center. I have deputy head, Dr. Ali from Yemen, and Dr. Mustafa from my faculty, Dr. Yamani from Faculty of Computer Science, Dr. Raja Jamila from Faculty of Computer Science as well, and Dr. Nazian from Faculty of Computer Science. For the rest, Dr. Abdul Latif, Dr. Khadir, Dr. Slamat, and Dr. Ali Hanafia, coming from my Department of Quranic Studies. This is my photo. I am expert in Quranic exegesis and methodology of Quranic studies. And this is my colleague, Associate Professor Dr. Mustafa, with his expertise, and Dr. Yamani, as I mentioned, from Faculty Computer Science, and Dr. Raja Jamila, Dr. Nazian. This is my faculty and my department. And all of these, they are still young, and they can be a successor for this Center of Quranic Research. Okay, member of the Center of Quranic Research come from a variety of background, but in short, I can say they come from different faculties. Before this, I have member from Faculty of Education and also from Faculty of Science, but they retired already, and I couldn't find a good candidate until now to replace them. Why it is difficult to find a good candidate to replace them? Because membership of center based on grant and based on their point, based on their achievement. If I choose a person who has no good research, etc., I will make shock for my center point. And before this, we have a number during the competition of center, but now because now we have not so many research we conduct, not really we get good point, and that's why I try to make sure whoever would like to join after this must carry a good point in order to make sure CQR also get a benefit from their expertise. This is our activity, what I mentioned just now, research and publication. We conduct, currently we still continue research about Abahata. What is the Abahata? Abahata is the method of teaching Quran to the people who has no idea about the Quran, who cannot read Quran before. But within 28 hours, with this method, we use this method to teach them, and they are able to read, to recite Quran after that. And the research is involved from Kaum Melayu Champa and so many organization and society who ask us to conduct for them. And based on this research, this is some of the research we already got a grant from government. And we also have journal, and this is our journal we call Quranica. We issue 2 times a year as a regular issue, but sometimes we also have special issues. Special issues normally cover for the topic in Arabic issues. We produce also book, and this is some of our books. This is stuff Holy Quran, introduction of the Holy Quran, or interpretation of the Holy Quran, 30 juzu, complete set of the Quran. We publish under Center of Quranic Research. We still cannot promote this. We have sample of this book, around 30 volume, 30 version in our center. We cannot sell it out because the cost to print this need more 1,000 money. And this is also our research book in Malay, as mentioned in the slide, and some book also published in Arabic language, and one in English language. It's about the Quran and its studies. We also have a proceeding especially for the conference, and this is some of the proceeding based on our conference and based on our seminar. And our activities, we also conduct workshop and conferences. The main conferences is what we call Al-Muqaddas. We conduct this Al-Muqaddas annually. Starting from the year first, we got blessing from the Senate, and starting from there, we continue annually until the time of pandemic. We stopped it, and until now, we cannot start the new one because we have found some difficulties regarding the money. Before this time, when we conduct the conference, we got sponsor from overseas, and also we have good collaboration with some institution from overseas. They support us, they pay to our presenter, and also to cover the cost of what we call to cover everything about the book, about the proceeding, about the book of program book, and also present to the presenter, etc. This is first Muqaddas, Muqaddas 2, Muqaddas 3, International Conference, Quran, first 2, 3, 4, 5, and until 6. I think we finished on the number 6. Number 6 or number... Yeah, I cannot... my computer now have problem of electricity. I cannot continue. Can Akmal show the rest? Muqaddas. Akmal? Yeah, this before that, Akmal. Before. One slide before. Hello? One slide before. Yeah, this is conference. Before this, we have international conference, and then we have seminar. This is seminar and symposium. And next, come on, go ahead. Number 6, number next, Akmal. This is number 6, number 6, number 7. I think we finished number 6, Muqaddas. Number 6, number 7. I think this is Muqaddas 6, Akmal. Number Muqaddas 7. Yes, this is Muqaddas 7, 2017, 2018, Muqaddas 8, and we finish on. We finish on Muqaddas 8. Yeah, it's okay. So I think I cannot continue with this problem of internet and also electric. On Muqaddas, I think we finish on 9, and then this is some training as I mentioned, Abahata, teaching of the Holy Quran to the person who has no idea, for the people who has no idea about how to read Quran. And until now, we conduct this in Sabah and also in Sarawak. In Sabah last year, we finished gathering with them with 2,000 of people who are able to read Quran. I think this is some ideas about our Center of Quran Research, and I hope if we have if you have time to have some discussion after this, I can continue. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dato, for very insightful about this CQR, right? Can you stay? At the end of the session around 11:30. Okay, so we have
Yeah.
sessions.
Sorry,
So we
Prof.
see.
I have lecture at 10, and
Okay.
after finish, I come back.
Yeah, sure. So the session is around 11:30.
11:30.
12,
Okay.
12, yeah, 12. So we'll see you after this to have more discussions about your very interesting center, CQR. Thank you,
Thank
Prof.
you.
Thank you, Dato. So we may move to next speaker. Before that, I want to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Joanne, Deputy Dean of Frontier of Natural World Research Clusters. Our Dean is Professor Dr. Saiful Anwar Kasani. He is not able to join us today. Okay, let's move to the second speaker. Our second speaker is Professor Dr. Noor Aisha Muhammad Taib. She's the director of Cancer Research Institute, UMCIR. Dr. Noor Aisha is experienced professor with a demonstrate history of working in clinical, educations, research field, skill in breast surgery, epidemiology, research design, oncology, and lecturing. Strong educations professional graduate from University of Malaya. The floor is yours, Professor Noor Aisha. You can start when you are ready.
Thank you, Dr. Joanne. I will try to share my screen. I'm a little bit rusty with the Teams, so just bear with me for a short while.
No worries.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, Prof. We can see your screen.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to go on
Can you-
slideshow.
Yeah,
Tell me whether it's okay, whether it turns out all right. Okay, did it come out okay?
Yes, we can see your
All
slide,
right,
Prof.
thank you very much. I might switch off my video in case it becomes a bit choppy. I'll just switch off my video for a short while.
Sure, sure.
Okay. All right. So I'm here for representing Cancer Research Institute. Okay, let's see whether it moves now. Okay, it may be slow. Okay, so the history of it's all right, yeah. So the history of UMCRI began in 2009, and again, I think it was from Professor Gauth Jasmon's time. And because it was recognized that cancer research capacity was increasing in University of Malaya, and the research center was approved by the Senate on the 27th of May 2010. We have so far had three past directors, Professor Lim Boon Kiong, Professor Hani Arifin, as well as Professor Azad Hassan over the last 12 years. So what is it that we have, the mission that we have is to conquer cancer through care. Care is providing quality standard of care and innovative treatments to cancer patients. Advocate for A is to advocate for equitable quality cancer care. And for the research, we are looking into impactful research through clinical trials, clinical epidemiology, health system research, prognostic and predictive biomarker research, nature-inspired drug discovery, and technology. Education is to educate healthcare providers, cancer patients, and community on early diagnosis and treatments of cancer. So the vision is to be an internationally renowned cancer institute through innovative patient-centered care, translational research, and education-empowered community. So the objectives was to provide a conducive ecosystem to achieve innovative research that improves patient care through networking with local and international institutions and industries to facilitate collaboration between clinicians, scientists, and community in prevention, early detection, cancer therapy, and survivorship. Number 3 was to translate research findings to policy change to improve cancer control in Malaysia. Number 4, to develop educational programs for healthcare providers and the community. And the last is to empower community through advocacy in cancer prevention and survivorship. So we, at the moment, are in the process of building UMCRI structural capacity. Right now, we are in phase 1, where we are trying to make sure we will have adequate clinical data management with the having a very robust UMMC cancer registry. We are digitalizing our UMMC or the hospital processes so that we can collect data. And we are doing a lot of stakeholder engagement and interdisciplinary research, as well as implementation science in the area of quality improvements and policy research pilots. And we are also putting into some effort into international grant applications. So all this is so that we will have a conducive environment where we have adequate clinical data and biobanking to help all our researchers in the hospital to provide them with a good structure to be able to have more publications and research so they are very much supported. And we hope to have trained researchers, and of course we want to make sure our patients in UMMC are put at the center of the care, and we call this patient-centered care. So the research teams that we do is within the trajectory of the cancer continuum that includes prevention, early detection, diagnosis, treatment, survivorship, and supportive care. And the 4 main teams that we have is population health, clinical trials, fundamental research, and technological research. So what are the strengths that we have in our Faculty of Medicine, Faculty of Dentistry, as well as the hospital, University Malaya Medical Center? We actually have quite a number of active cancer clinical and research groups. We have the UMMC Clinical Investigation Center, for which right now there are 54 ongoing oncology clinical trials. And even in 2021, despite the pandemic, we have 20 new trials that have been initiated. And the oncology clinical trials are the highest number of clinical research in UMCIC, and the second one is in cardiology. So this research is mainly investigator-initiated research as well as industry-sponsored research. And in the main clinical and research groups that are very, very active is the clinical oncology group, the respiratory group, as well as surgical groups. There are 11 principal investigators and more than 40 co-investigators in these clinical trials. And
it's 10 o'clock.
Sorry about that. So we also have the UM Biobank. So we have a group of mature and mid-level researchers and clinicians in the hospital. So this slide is extremely busy because we have something like 20 research groups that are functioning within Faculty of Medicine and Faculty of Dentistry. And we have affiliations with many of the centers in the university where we are collaborating doing multiple research. So as you can see, the one in pink are those centers that with a lot of collaboration and supporting the clinical research groups. So I don't have to mention all of them, but I think when we share the slides and when we get our website put up, you will be able to contact the head of the research groups if you would like to do any collaboration with them. So at the moment, we are actually starting very small with the Center of Research because you can see that we are very busy. We are also clinicians, researchers, teachers, and many others. So we have 8 members of the center, but we have multiple associate members from all the research groups. So just to share with you, I think I wasn't able to get a lot of information about our publication, but our researchers are fairly mature, and they have many publications, as well as they are very well cited, and their H index is also quite respectable. And I would like to share with our campus community and outside that we do have a biobank headed by Professor Hani Arifin, and this was developed actually during the period of the HIR, the High Impact Research Grant era, and we have quite a large repository of samples and clinical data. So there is a proper way of retrieving samples, and all the research that we do with our samples require ethics approval, and you need to actually communicate with the heads of the research groups to access these tissues. So please feel free to contact us. I didn't put our number there, but we have a research officer, Encik Shafiq, who runs the biobank, and you can also communicate with us to find out who are the heads of research groups that you can communicate and collaborate with. So I would like to also share the other centers that are also doing a lot of cancer research in the Faculty of Dentistry. So the Oral Cancer Research and Coordinating Center has been in place even about the same time as UMCRI, so that's quite a long time. They also have a biobank and clinical data, and they provide multiple subjects like what we are doing now. They also providing research, training, education. They also have a resource center and community engagements. And we also have labs like Professor Yap Lifa, whose key work is in NPC. And okay, so before we go further into the activities, we are really looking forward to having a better structure for our research. So we are in the process of developing digitalization of the cancer data through the UMMC Cancer Registry. So anything we want to do with change, we actually use a quality improvement framework, where you can see that the first phase is actually the engagement of key stakeholders. And I have to say, in the past, we always hear that it's very difficult to engage with clinicians, difficult to engage with the hospital. So I would advise, if you would like to do any collaborative research, or you would like to change, to follow this quality improvement implementation framework model, so that you can actually achieve something in the end. So the UMMC Cancer Registry required us to engage with the hospital, and it took quite a while. Actually, we started way back in January 2020, and until now we have formed our committee, where me and Professor Pang from CHES, physician from the Internal Medicine Department, are co-chairing this committee, and we have permanent representatives, and we also have, by invitation, people from Ministry of Health, because we would be sending our digitized cancer data to the National Cancer Registry. Okay, and we also have a working committee. So if I showed you a very difficult slide just now with 20 units, it's the same thing in the clinical realm. There are almost 20 units that are managing cancer patients in PPUM. So we have actually engaged with everybody, because we would like them to enter data through their point of care. That means when they are seeing patients, they are registering for the cancer registry, for the hospital, and for the National Cancer Registry. So these are all the processes that we went through, and we also have a workflow of how the reporting will be like, and how we're going to monitor the data and so forth. At the moment, we're at the stage where the PTM, or the technology, our department of IT in the hospital, is actually doing up the programming and all that. So we hope to pilot this data entry and all that by first quarter next year. So the other one is to digitize the cancer patient journey through and be able to produce an app for them so that they are able to navigate the hospital better. So there are many projects that we're doing. We are also hoping to audit our data in order to make sure that we provide timely diagnosis and timely treatments to our patients. Excuse me, sorry. All right, population health. We know, I'm sure you all know about the ROSE, removing obstacle to cervical cancer screening using self-testing methods. So Professor Wu Yinling, like in this photo, is the leader of this group. So they are doing a lot of changes in our country with regards to improving screening for cervical cancer among Malaysian women. And of course, Professor Hani Arifin, who was instrumental in developing and sustaining the biobank. She also has a lot of projects. And of course, we also work together with our geriatricians who are managing older cancer patients. And we have provided a public forum, and this was in 2019. This is way before the pandemic. And of course, we are doing projects to improve the financial counselling of patients. So our students now in the Master of Surgery program are trained to do quality improvement projects because they can also improve care in our hospital. They can also improve care in Ministry of Health. So this is Dr. Liu Vincent's project. And okay, so I would like to also talk to you about the City Cancer Challenge of Greater Petaling, where we would like to improve equitable access to quality cancer care. And this is a movement of cities around the world. We are the 9th city to get on board this mission of improving quality care, which is equitable. So we have a city manager, Mr. Derek Chan, and they have reached many people through this City Cancer Challenge. And what happens with this project is that we will be covering the area of Selangor, KL and Putrajaya. And through the stakeholder engagement, you can see there are multi-sectoral engagements here. Ministry of Health, City Council, Selangor State Government, Department of Statistics, SOCSO, LIAM, and academia, NGOs. So we are slowly going through a process where, of course, a MOU was signed in June this year. And the process is about to take place in a while, where we will be doing our needs assessment in November. And through the needs assessment, we will come up with evidence-based action planning and sustainable implementation of programs that will improve the quality of care. And we are basically also looking into financing healthcare. So the whole thing is driven by the City Executive Committee that is chaired by YB Dr. Siti Maria, the Selangor State Exco. So we hope that with this involvement of the politician and political will, we will be able to shape, and you can see that this CEC committee is mainly made up of Ministry of Health personnel, and what we do is we are collaborating so that we can build something to coordinate better care in a high resource area to service the low resource areas in Malaysia, and hopefully the same models can be applied to other parts of the country. So the City Executive Committee drives the process, but the people behind it are the technical committee members, where there are 4 technical committees headed by different people from different organizations. And I would have to say our UM researchers are also involved, and we hope that this, by this engagement, we will be able to provide better research materials and opportunities for our students. We are looking into health economics and financing, spatio-temporal epidemiology, implementation science, looking into doing rapid qualitative research to build consensus, and of course, cancer survivorship research. So we are inviting members, researchers from the economic side and the financing side, people who are experts in GIS, health informatics. Please contact us. And through this City Cancer Challenge, we have also been able to obtain grants where the IAEA and Islamic Development Bank have provided a grant from November this year to next year to look into breast cancer multidisciplinary team initiatives in the city. So there are many other projects, and I think the impact research grant has allowed us to provide interdisciplinary research and impactful research to the community. So one of it is reducing barriers and other cancer early diagnosis, barriers in the urban B40 group. So this is also done by an interdisciplinary group of researchers from Faculty of Medicine as well as from Faculty of Arts. You can see that we are trying to do a project to expedite early diagnosis in this very underserved community. And you can see the number of NGOs as well as the MOH and LPPKN facilities that we have engaged with. So essentially, we will be also training general practitioners and community navigators to help women or even people, because we are focusing on 4 cancers that is very important to Malaysia: breast, colorectal, lung and cervical cancer. So we are doing innovative low literacy materials for the community. And we have a whole team of doctors and clinicians and researchers who are on board on the Cancer Education Module Development team. So there's almost like 20 odd people in this team working on the educational materials. And we also have Ustaz Hashimi from Faculty of Education, who is helping us with the educational aspects of the education development modules development. Yeah. So the community, what happens in Rebong is that through the research, we will learn how people communicate with each other in the B40 environment. And a community campaign will take place between November to February next year. And we will have multiple measurements that we will be doing. So there are multiple campus engagements that we've done over the years. We have had a short video competition. I think this was last year, and we have had platforms where we presented at the breakfast at FOM, a weekly live webinar series. And we also had, just before the pandemic, a research forum to bridge translational cancer research in the Faculty of Medicine, Dentistry and beyond, where people from different faculties came to bring together their different expertise, and I think there are some collaborations that have occurred because of this meeting. There's also a research carnival that will be coming soon, and we will be presenting some of our work there. This is on the 25th and 28th of October. And on the 26th, there are 2 research teams that are presenting their work, the Rebong as well as the breast cancer survivorship projects. So training, we provide a lot of training. We have some activities on research in immuno-oncology symposium. And then we have this multidisciplinary approach to oncogeriatrics, where doctors from the different departments are sharing what they do with their patients, and to find a way to actually improve the care of people who are older and have cancer. And we've had webinars for clinicians looking at how do you manage genetic people with a genetic predisposition like BRCA genetics, a gene in a lot of the families that we see. We also have been quite active during the pandemic in educating our colleagues about COVID-19 vaccination in cancer patients. So this was a lovely collaboration between people from immunology, people from infectious disease, as well as clinical oncologists, and as well as palliative care doctors. So many things that we've done. We've done public forums, and a lot of education of vaccination were done multiple times. Actually, during the pandemic, we had one in Malay and another one in English. And of course, we have the Blue Cap Run, and I'm sure you all know, maybe you want to register. So this is from the Men's Health Group. They are collaborating with CIMB to raise funds for male cancer. And of course, breast cancer also had this, I think, in 2019, where they collaborated with one of the residential colleges to also raise funds for the hospital. So advocacy is one of the other things we do. So some of our researchers are involved in cancer policy recommendations with other think tanks like the Galen Center. We have also had Professor Rosmawati talking about the improving access to affordable cancer treatments in Malaysia. And this was, I think, 2019. So it was a very well, and at that time I think our former health minister was there. And we are also very close with Together Against Cancer. A lot of our doctors are members as well as committee members to Together Against Cancer, where we actually use this platform to educate our patients as well as the community about cancer. But we are also looking at the disparities in cancer care, like delays, access to affordable treatments and treatment adherence. So with a lot of involvement with discussions with the community about cancer control, because we are one of the countries, although upper middle income, our survival rates are extremely low. We have about 52% of people presenting with stage 3 and 4 for breast cancer, and for lung cancer is almost like 90% presenting with stage 3 and 4 disease. For colorectal is also that bad. It's about 70% of stage 3 and 4. So our issue now in Malaysia to improve cancer outcomes is really to downstage the cancer. So we also had a mini webinar on discussing about patent laws and what are the issues with the access to good treatments in Malaysia. And we will be having one because it's October month, the last day of October, where we will be talking a lot about the disparity in access to life-saving treatments as well as issues of health among refugees. And we are very honoured to have YB Nurul Izzah to actually help us to maybe bring some of the things we need to bring up to the parliament. Yeah. Okay, that was really my last slide. Maybe we will take questions later, kan? Dr. John?
Yes, we will take the question
Okay,
later
I will stop
during the
here.
special sessions. Okay, thank you, Prof. Aisha. There are a lot of things have been done in the center. I just know about this.
I know,
Okay,
all live in the same campus, but we don't know what everybody's doing.
exactly. That's the whole purpose of this session, actually, sharing what you have done and let us share, and then we can strengthen the collaborative works within and also in other universities.
Yes.
Thank you, Prof. Aisha.
Okay.
Make sure you come back later at 12 p.m.
About
Okay,
12,
for
Okay.
discussions and also some Q&A sessions.
Okay,
So
thank
let's just move to our next speaker, which we have the Associate Professor IR Dr. Chong Wei Tong. Prof. Chong is currently an academic staff in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at UMCOR Malaya. He received a bachelor degree in Mechanical Engineering in Aeronautics, master degree in Mechanical Engineering, and PhD degree in Mechanical Engineering from University of Technology Malaysia, 1995, 1997, and 2006. He is a professional engineer with a Board Engineer Malaysia. He's a chartered engineer registered by the Engineering Council UK since 2014. Dr. Chong joined after spending 10 years in various industries, for example, Dyson, LHH, and others. Very long CV. I just summarized of some of the CV. Hopefully, Dr. Chong don't mind. Currently, Dr. Chong is the head of the UN Center for Energy Sciences. He has secured more than 7 million ringgit research grants and successfully supervised more than 36 postgraduate students. He also recipient of UMCOR Malaya Excellent Award 2016, Excellent Lecturer, Science and Technology. He also co-authored more than 135 scientific articles published in SCI index journals with a H index of 40 and more than 5,000 citations. He is the editor board member of two Q1 journals, which is the International Journal of Energy Research and also International Journal of Precision Engineering and Manufacturing, with 80 verified editor records. His contributions to the engineering profession are the well-organized nationally and also internationally. He has been invited for many keynote talks and also plenary lectures in the area of product design, renewable energy, and also green technology. He won the second place in the Royal Academy of Engineering Leader in Innovation Fellowship final pitch sessions in 2016 and 17. He also the conference chair for the International Conference for the Sustainable Energy and Green Technology. With a lot of awards. Here I read some of the awards. Dr. Chong was awarded WSSET Innovations Award for his research in renewable energy and conferred with the Raja Ali Mahkota Police Award by the Raja of Police. Okay, Dr. Chong also selected for the 2019 Top Research Scientist Malaysia TRSM by the Academic Sciences Malaysia ASM, and 2030 the World Top 2% Scientists by Stanford University. So very long survey, Dr. Chong, Prof. Chong. You don't mind I summarize some of these?
Yeah, thank you, Prof.
Okay.
Prof. Chairman,
So
thank you.
the floor is yours. So you can start when you are ready, Prof. Chong.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Chairman. Thanks for the interesting introduction. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Chong, the head of Center for Energy Sciences. I serve in Department of Mechanical Engineering for about 11 years, and I joined University Malaya after spending about 10 years industry with 0 publication, 0 citation. And I'd like to thank all the facility mechanism supported or given to me, enable me to reach the level today. Okay, thank you very much to all the parties that provide me all the support, encouragement throughout my service in University Malaya. Prof. Chairman, can I share my slide?
Please, Prof. Chong, please can you share your slide? Okay.
Can everyone see my, yeah,
they can see your slide. Yeah.
So I'm Dr. Chong, the head of Center for Energy Sciences. So our mission is to strengthening energy sciences research culture through quality service delivery and pushing the boundaries of knowledge by developing cutting-edge energy technology that goes hand in hand with the environment. The center was established in the Faculty of Engineering in year 2000 by our founder, Prof. Majuki, and it became the Center of Research in year 2008. Today, we have 6 sub-research units under the center with 18 full members, 6 associate members, and 14 affiliate members. So the center intended to gather energy research activity and effort at in order to make a more meaningful impact to academia, industry, and society. So this is the organization structure of our center with myself, the deputy head, Prof. Saad. The advisor is the founder of the center, Prof. Majuki. We have financial controller, Dr. Mahindra, our research officer and secretary, Dr. Chia, and the 6 sub-unit, research unit that I'm going to elaborate later. So this is our membership, as what I explained earlier, and the membership is open to people and organization, no matter they are academia, officer that serve in government agency, or international collaborator from both industry and university that work in the energy and it related field. So we have first the subunit wind, solar, and electric power system. This is one of the key area in our research center, where we have the country representative in wind, solar, and electric vehicle or power electronic. And we work closely with other research institute, including UMPEDEC, SERI in UKM, as our collaborator, and also several national partners like National Cheng Kung University in Taiwan, HUST, Huazhong University of Science and Technology in China. So in this subunit, we work on the new design of wind turbine, our novel cross-axis wind turbine, the advanced multi-level inverter for power electronics in the Pearl Lab by Prof. Saad. We also collaborate with the SEDA, the government agency, and Jaguar, the Orang Asli organization, and develop a standalone autonomous wind solar powered energy system to supply clean water, electric, and act as a shelter for the disastrous area. The second subunit is another unit that very productive, especially in SCI article publication, with the key member or the main member actually is our founder, Prof. Marzuki, and now it's taken care under Prof. Dr. Abdul Kalam. So this is the, I think, one of the most productive unit in terms of publication. And of course, Prof. Kalam worked with MPOB, Malaysia Palm Oil Board. They secure some grant and work on the practical project in terms of enhancing the yield of palm oil. The third unit, thermal energy and waste management by Dr. Nurin. So Dr. Nurin worked on the, and her team, like Dr. Jaga, worked on the issue of POME or palm oil mill, and some innovative way to handle the pollutant from oil and gas field. Another one, the fourth unit, energy policy, efficiency, and sustainability, is headed by Prof. Ghazi. So Prof. Ghazi main area is on the nano fluid, but the team, they are members that are working on the policy, on the battery, and also two-phase flow. The last, but it's quite important, we have a subunit that work on the traditional energy, oil and gas. Dr. Badro, I think, is the only petroleum engineer in our university, and he has a good connection in industry. And we think in a country, it is important for us to have this part of research to cater the need. I mean, it's academia and industrial collaboration. The last but not least, Prof. Yao. Prof. Yao is a very experienced consulting engineer, mainly on M&E. So he's well versed in the air conditioning and mechanical ventilation. He involved in a lot of academia or research project and also industrial project. In myself also, we work with our partner in China, Beijing University, in the research to study the PM 2.5, the pollutant reduction for the subway in Beijing. So this is our member. So I believe we have one of the most highly cited researcher among the research center in our country, Prof. Marzuki, Prof. Saad, and Prof. Kalam. Prof. Ghazi also is one of the highly cited researcher, I think 2 years or 1 year ago. And we have the world top 2% top scientists recognized by or published by University of Stanford. Let me quickly go through some uniqueness of our center. So from the high impact research grant, some of our members managed to establish or equip their lab with advanced equipment and testing facility. For example, we have full set of the instrument for the characterization test for biofuel according to ASTM standard. We have the excellent facility for tribology testing and engine performance research. The test bed measure the power output of the car engine and also the wheel. We also have the dyno or dynamometer for measurement of the torque and rotational speed. For example, the research on wind energy or small motor. We also have the Pearl Lab, power electronic lab with state-of-the-art equipment and test facility. And of course, the center, it creates a culture with a lot of highly cited researchers. And of course, this field, I can say this field is a popular field, energy, for the at least last 10 years or 20 years. And there's a lot of journal with the high impact, the impact factor. Because when government put in effort, allocate grant, more researchers go into the field, more paper published, more people read the paper, cite the paper, then I think the whole landscape enable the publication in this field gain a lot of citation, and it generate a lot of high impact or hot research paper. Like I say, the center has several high impact researchers. We encourage the member to take up the role to review the article, especially SCI paper from famous journal. If we are invited, I think as academia, it is our responsibility. We like our paper to get a quick review, and we also need to play our part or role in reviewing other people's paper. Some of us are editor or editorial board member in the top SCI journal, and there are several members. Example, myself, Dr. Nasrin served as a guest editor for several SCI index journal. We also encourage the member to go for award and patent filing. We have several award winner in this center, like Prof. Majuki himself is a Merdeka Award winner. We won so far the only first prize on National Intellectual Property Award in year 2006 from our novel wind turbine design. So these are the four main stakeholders for our center. Okay. First is the postgraduate student or final year student. So we provide excellent facility, the good research topic that provide I can say a comfortable, conducive environment for the student to carry out their research. Okay. I think the researcher clear or understand well the whole scenario and landscape in our field, and we know where is the cutting edge. And the student will only do something near to the cutting edge rather than repeating some research done by other researchers overseas. That may affect their novelty of study and publication. So I believe this is important for the student. For industry, like I say, we work with several industry, and for example, we have a good connection with some M&E company, especially dealing with green building, like Creighton Consulting Sendirian Berhad, that we study the layout of car park, how to make sure the smoke of fire security in the car park by simulating the flow of the smoke. We also involved in the solar water heater with industry, SolarMate, to design the supporting base for the new orientation of their water storage tank. For the project with government, we have some contact or affiliate member in some government sector. Some of them are our alumni, graduated from Department of Mechanical Engineering, like Mr. Steve, one of the vice president in SEDA, that we always work together, exchange idea on our project to make sure our project align with the country policy and direction. For the community, the recent project we have for this year is the Majlis Bandaraya Petaling Jaya project, Green Community Project, where we have selected a secondary school in PJ area and install our vertical greening system, which we call it living green wall. The system will provide a clean air in order to create a more conducive environment for the student, making a green effect, lower the temperature, provide clean air, and educate the student and increase the awareness on the green project. They also use the similar project to enter some competition at their secondary school level and won some award, I believe. So I try to give a summary of the activity that we have for this year, although we are in the midst of pandemic, but we managed to organize an IP talk, the intellectual property talk. It is organized by our center, and the speaker is one of our alumni from Faculty of Engineering, and he gave a very informative talk on the IP, from patent, trademark, copyright, that relevant to mechanical engineering, especially the energy sector. We also have our research talk from one of our member, Prof. Ghazi, on the energy transportation and heat exchanger fouling mitigation. We have a workshop at Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Asunta, SMK Asunta, to brief the student or to inspire the student on the green technology and the importance of green and also clean air for the environment in the school. We also organize an industrial talk. The speaker is our alumni as well, one of our excellent baby from Department of Mechanical Engineering, who I think secure his professional engineer at very young age after graduating from University of Malaya. So he has his own consulting company, Creighton Consulting Sendirian Berhad, and he gives an very insightful talk on the green building, which he is one of the GBI Green Building Index Facilitator. The next, we have the speaker from TRIS. TRIS is an innovative method to improve the product design, how to make the product more innovative through the TRIS. This talk is welcomed by a lot of participants and we gain a lot of participation during the talk. And recently, the postgraduate student in our center set up the vertical greening system, the green wall, at the secondary school in PJ. I think that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Hi, Dr. Chong, Prof. Chong.
Yeah.
Thank you for very insightful about the Center of Energy Sciences. Yeah, so is I think it's a very well well established center. We will stay tuned later on for the discussion session at 12. Okay, please do come back
Thank
for
you.
more discussion about your center and how we can make a synergistic, right, collaborative or strengthen our collaboration with this center. So let's
Thank you,
move
Prof.
to
Chairman. Yeah.
our last speaker, uh, Associate Professor Yap Xiong Ling, the head of UN Plasma Technology Center, or UMPDRC. Let me briefly introduce Professor Yap. So Professor Yap Xiong Ling obtained her degree of honors in master degree and PhD in plasma physics in 2007, all from University of Malaya, Malaysia. She started as a senior lecturer in 2008 in the same university, joined as a postdoc researcher in Tsinghua University, China in 2012. She is now the associate professor at Department of Physics, Faculty of Science, University of Malaya. Teach gas discharge and plasma subject to undergraduate and postgraduate programs. Her research interests extend from an invisible plasma in vacuum to the colorful plasma at the atmospheric pressure. Research aim is to understand the myriad way that plasma enable application in multidisciplinary system, while on the other hand do unexpected thing, including there is a most challenge fusion research. She played an active role in international scientific community as a lead researcher on the plasma science, representing Malaysia in ACDMP, AJC, APSE, and AAAPT. I didn't know what is this society. Later, Prof. Yap will enlighten us what is about this kind of society here. So without delay, Prof. Yap, the floor is yours. You can start when you are ready. Thank you.
Hi, thank you, Professor Joanne. I'm Yap here. I just want to say hi with my camera, and I would like to start my presentation from my desktop, which does not have a camera. I will switch on
Okay.
to that side.
No worries, Prof. Yap.
I would like to share my slide.
Yes, we can see your slide, Prof. Yap.
Thank you.
Can you please click on the presentation mode, please?
Now I'm in the presentation mode. Can you see? I just swipe through different slides here.
Not yet. Is
Oh no.
no.
Let me try again. I will escape. I will go to this slideshow, right?
Yep, slideshow.
Okay, I am in the slideshow now.
The slide doesn't move though. It's already frozen.
It's already frozen. Let
I see that it's frozen.
me go back and try again. Let me do from here.
Yeah, okay.
And present
Change
online from the current
maybe
slide.
Doctor can set on setup slideshow.
Set up slideshow.
Yeah, that one. And then browse by an individual windows.
Yeah, the
Ah,
show tab you click on the
Yeah.
browse.
that's
Just click the
okay.
one and
That's okay.
Okay. Let me start here. Is
Okay, now
this
you.
okay?
Yeah, it's working now.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
okay.
you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hi everyone, I'm Yap here. I'm speaking on behalf of Plasma Technology Research Center. I have listed all our core members here. Currently, we are quite small in terms of academic staff. However, this plasma research have been rooted in the physics department of UST Malaya uh, for a very long time, since the beginning of the establishment of the physics department. I would like to share you the historical aspect. Uh, Establishment by Professor Emeritus Professor Li Xing, Emeritus Professor Wang Chaosang, and the current work that we are engaging on. So when we talk about plasma, there are many plasma that we know, or we may not know it. We probably know best our plasma TV, and the blood consists of blood plasma. We less know about plasma as a fourth state of matter, which fill the universe, covering more than 96 or to 99% of the visible world, and the solar, which is made up of fusioning plasma. There are also study on the plasma cosmology and the other plasma theory about pinches in the universe and so on. But the work on plasma research are primarily on creating the plasma in a laboratory level, imitating what we see in the nature, like the lightning. We have quite many lightning in KL, and the film when we burn something, or the volcano eruptions. So there are many plasma that we can create. Previously, we are good in creating plasma in vacuum. The plasma in vacuum we cannot see. In the down bottom here is a dense plasma focus device. I'm showing you this like the plasma emission, but in fact we can never see it. There are also plasma that appear colorful, like this is atmospheric pressure plasma, that you can see the filament and the plasma plume according to the gas type, the hot plasma torch that we use in industry, and the microwave plasma that we generate by microwave excitations. So the plasma exists in the universe billion years before human. We only start to learn about it, study about it, and research about relating to this fourth state of matter probably in less than 200 years. However, in the physics department, the plasma research started in 1964. Yeah, that started with the kind gift from Great Britain. The picture that I obtained from Professor Li Xing, this was the visit of Prince Philip's in 1965. Oh, he just passed away this year. Okay, in the conjunction of donating a large capacitor bank to the plasma physics laboratory under the Colombo plan. The large capacitor bank have the rating on top here. I see, I read it, 2 mega M capacitor. 2 mega M capacitor means that you probably have 100 units fill up the entire floor of the plasma lab. And that time you want to create a plasma, you need that energy. Otherwise, it is not possible to create plasma in the laboratory environment. Following the Following the establishment of the plasma system with the capacitor bank, we have the first graduate from the plasma physics laboratory, who is Li Xing at that time, and now he is our emeritus professor Li Xing. Subsequently, we received another gift of this big capacitor bank, which is 2 mega amp as well. It's a Zurich 1 capacitor bank given by Germany. This is as a follow-up of the Alexander Homburg Research Fellowship of Professor Lee Sing at that time. He obtained the fellowship and he got this gifted capacitor bank. This is the plate that I copied down here. Is the ALAC experiment, Tenaga fusion plasma. The research is on plasma fusions. It is a dream of all plasma physicists to realize plasma fusion either for energy or for fundamental research. So this is the bank. They are standing on the capacitor bank. This is the plasma device, but the spaceship type of bank, which is underneath this, occupying more than half a floor of the floor of plasma lab. They are standing on it. That is our UMVC at that time, Professor Ongo Aziz, His Excellency German Ambassador Dr. Wan Ritter, the head of physics department, Professor Hussein, and Professor Lee Sing. And with this, we obtain the first measurement published and the first measurement of fusion neutrons recorded in Asia. That time before Japan and Korea, who are leading in plasma research today. This, the two banks that I show you are huge, a big bank. It is unaffordable for small research lab. Yeah, until 1988-89, Professor Lee Sing lead another milestone work, developing the new plasma device under the UNU ICTP training program. UMU ICTP program was conducted in Houston, Malaysia in 1988, doing the work on the plasma focus, field bias electromagnetic shock tube, and also grow discharge. In this program, also we have developed a new sequence nitrogen laser system. This following year, Houston, Malaysia have been accredited by ICTP. ICTP is an International Center of Theoretical Physics. UM accredited as an affiliated center in 1989. This picture shows the people at that time, which are the ICTP director, UMVC again, and Professor Lee Sing. So this, in conclusion, start from 1965, we obtained the first Colombo plant capacitor bank gifted by Prince Philip's. To 1988, we developed their own small capacitor power plasma focus from mega ampere to kilo ampere. Subsequently, this device, now I show here the establishment of Plasma Technology Research Center, was then initiated by Professor Wong in 1998. This is also the device I have done my master and subsequently modification based on this system for my PhD work. The UMPTRC was then officially approved in 2010 under the leadership of Emeritus Professor Wong Chao Sang. Under this establishment of Plasma Technology Research Center, UMPTRC, we have 4 divisions. The green, the first one is the Plasma Main Lab. We work on where our strength is the pulse plasma, which is the plasma focus with those big capacitor bank, vacuum spark, and capillary discharge. At the same time, we have also developed the low temperature plasma lab with the inductively coupled plasma, RF plasma, DBD plasma, and plasma jet at atmospheric pressure. Another two divisions are emphasized on plasma application, that we have collaboration with industry looking into the unsolved problem that plasma may do a miracle. For example, moving ahead the EUV source for EUV lithography, which was then at 100 over nanometer. With EUV light source, it will push down to 13.5 nanometer. And also X-ray technology that allow we do imaging, phase contrast imaging, and soft X-ray imaging. At the same time, the wire explosion application are used to create nanoparticles. This was funded by science funds from the Ministry of Science. The fourth division under the PTRC is a plasma computational lab. All this heavy work are supported by plasma simulation and modeling, and with some numerical experiment. The Plasma Technology Center continue from 2015 to 2020 with our former head of center, Dr. Chin Oi Hong, maintaining the four divisions, with myself working on the main pulse plasma and plasma application, including radiation sources, wire explosion, and some low temperature plasma as well. Well, Dr. Chin headed the low temperature plasma lab, and Professor Siti Munyadi headed the plasma theoretical and computational lab. I actually have just take my position end of last year, last few days of 2020. So I started this year. However, along with before I take my position, I was informed Dr. Chin on her retirement have removed half of the lab. So half of the lab are gone, including the lab space, the equipment, the students, and the members. Today we are smaller, but we have only two pieces of the puzzle out of the four. However, we consolidate with the help of the cluster office and also advisors from the cluster dean and our deputy dean in Faculty of Science. We consolidate the two divisions that remain under the PTRC. And we have incorporated the plasma modeling and numerical work under the main lab. And we included the non-thermal plasma application work under the plasma application lab, where we then supported by many collaborators in locally and overseas, developing into plasma agriculture, plasma medicine, and plasma gas conversions. In the next few slides, I will introduce some of our current work. The two division also focuses on fundamental plasma research. The fundamental plasma research based on the plasma focus and also other devices like vacuum spark, capillary, and the plasma jet. We measure fundamentally the behavior of the electron beam and ion beams, and this beam can be used for, have been demonstrated as well for ion implantation and beam target neutrons generations. The fusion neutrons that we are capable to generate with our small device reach about 10 to the power 8 per pulse in the duration of about 100 nanoseconds. And this neutron demonstrated the fusion reactions. It serves as a pulse neutron source. It can be also utilized as a neutron tomography. At the same time, we're exploring the potential of using the high intensity, high brightness X-ray for cancer treatment, for soft X-ray imaging, and phase contrast imaging. And our main work is still on the plasma diagnostic because there are many phenomena demonstrated by plasma in the laboratory and in the universe is not fully understood by us. So the team in the fundamental research, I put the fingerprint here of all the names that contributing. The other part of the work on application, we are focusing on transdisciplinary research. Why? Because the plasma uh, is very useful in different disciplines if we use it correctly and we understand it properly. The two projects that I listed here, one is on the plasma medicine. This is the work together with PPUM under Professor Shashila. We are working on elimination of bacterial biofilm. This will be achieved by the energetic electrons using the non-thermal plasma and possibly using some plasma activated liquid or plasma activated water. We are also seeking more understanding into how ROS and RNS, those reactive species, helps in synergy of elimination of bacterial biofilm. Second part of the transdisciplinary research is supported by the cluster also under IIRG, which is on plasma agriculture. This work was actually initiated by Professor Lani when she was the Dean of Science previously. Yeah, we are trying to look at how cold plasma treatment affect on banana plants. We have done some experiments showing the good improvement in terms of the growth factor and also the stress from the plasma treatment actually induce the immune reactions so that banana plants may grow up to be more resistant to fungus attack. For banana is facing extinction because of the invasion of Fusarium FOCTR4 around the world, including probably 50% of the land, cultivation land of banana in Malaysia declare hotspot that banana plantation farmer are not able to grow banana anymore on this ground unless we have the species or the immune system of the plants against the disease. So this part of the work we are attempting with various kind of plasma that we generate at atmospheric pressure via direct treatment and also the plasma activated water or plasma activated liquid effect on the planets. At the same time, on plasma agriculture, we are also starting a lot of work in collaboration with Nagoya University. This is where I am now for my sabbatical on seed germination enhancement. So I listed the round table of this transdisciplinary player from the different entity, including PPUM, ISB, SIBA, and overseas collaborator. The core members are listed in this round table as well. So let me talk a little bit about the fundamental of what we do. In the pulse plasma that we talk about the plasma focus, vacuum spark, and so on. Particularly, we are looking at the configurations of the electrodes and how plasma is generated together with the power source. Of course, you have higher power, then you have higher density, higher temperature plasma that you can do more miracle up to fusions. Yeah. So, but how to compact the energy into a short pulse so that the high intensity can be achieved in the region of nanosecond is remain a challenge. So this different kind of configuration here, including the plasma focus, the Z pinch, the capillary, and the vacuum spark, are the fundamental research that we carry out. From the plasma focus particularly, we are also doing a lot of material reaction from the general material to the fusion phasing material. So this work can be done in our lab. One of the plasma focus device is dedicated for material research. Not only the high energy plasma have impact, the shock wave that we produce while generating plasma has also a big impact on the material. This is also part of the work that carried out by our researcher and also our PhD in the laboratory. The other part on the interdisciplinary research or transdisciplinary research, we primarily use plasma which is visible, growing, colorful, and at atmospheric pressure. I extract two images here to give more understanding. The first image I actually grab it from the YouTube showing plasma generated at atmospheric pressure. It is used for wound healing. And this plasma, because of the many composition in it, it has multiple effect. For example, accelerating the healing process by proliferation of this microphage cell and eliminating the bacteria and removing the toxic load on the wound so that the wound can be healed faster. Fundamentally, the effect on plasma on bacteria on also many aspects. This is a bacteria. The plasma reactive species will act on the wall, penetrating the wall, and some allow the effluence to then damage the whole cell and also to affect on the nucleic acid in the bacteria. This plasma are generated in the laboratory in this form, which is our plasma jet. We have plasma jet of single pin and 7 pin for different purpose. And also I added a schematic here, the plasma jet for large surface. This is the surface. This is a dielectric barrier discharge. Sample can be glide between these two. If a very large sample like textile, then it will be on a track, moving track, that the active part is treated in time. Another part of the design is for gas conversion. For the gas conversion, we enclose the discharge tube. Yeah, the center is the electrode, the outer is the ground, and in between are the discharge. Gas are passed into the discharge tube, and reaction are happen in the discharge tube without catalyst or with catalyst, and the desired effect is expected from the outcome. So let's say I have CO2 as input, and I want to remove the CO2 and I obtain oxygen and other species in the output, or I have XOX and NOx in the input, and I disintegrate that in the tube and I have clean gas as the output. So the researcher on this low temperature plasma are listed here as well, together with our PhD working on this. So with that, I finished the overview of PTRC at the moment. Thank you very much for your attention.
Hello, everyone. Now we are come to the the end of our last speaker, Prof. Yap. Very insightful about this plasma technology. I learned so much from this plasma technologies in this 30 minutes. Okay, so our next session will be on the discussion and Q&A. First time we are ahead of time. Okay, it's supposed to end at the 11:30, but we are ahead of time. That's good. Everyone keep to the time. Can all the speaker turn on their camera? Is it possible? Yep.
Chong here.
Okay, Chong. Hi, Prof. Chong.
Yeah.
Prof. Aisha. Yes, and then we have Prof. Yap. Okay. So let's just start with our, the discussions. Okay. So again, I'm Dr. John, your moderator for this morning sessions, session 4 of this UMCOR sharing sessions. So we have these 4 renowned researcher, Professor Datuk Professor Muhammad Yaakob. He having lectures now. Hopefully he can join us on time. And then we have our Professor Noor Aisha. Hi, Prof. Noor Aisha. And then we have Professor Chong. Professor Chong, hello. Prof Chong, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Hi.
And then we have Prof Yap. Hello, Prof Yap. So we have the director of this center. Number one, Datuk Professor Muhammad Yaakob is a center for the Quranic research. Then we have Professor Noor Aisha, who is director of the Cancer Research Institute. Then we have Professor Chong Wei Tong, head of Center for Energy Sciences. Then we have Professor Yap, who is the head for Plasma Technology Research Center. So let's just start the discussions. You can type your message at the chat box. I will try to ask the researcher any questions. Okay. So I want to ask some few questions to the researcher here. Number one is the center here. For example, this center for what we call a Cancer Research Institute, UMCOR. So that I see that a lot of activities is going on. Do you find it difficult to get the participations from researcher itself or the student from UM? It seems that is that my because this question related to me especially. We are not well versed with this center. I can see from the slide they have a lot have been done in these centers. Okay, so what is your next strategy to become more visible in that sense? Thanks.
Yes, I think the issue sometimes when we work, I think all of us know we are all multitasking. So you must remember the doctors in PPUM, they also have working hours in private sector, and they are also the researchers, they're teachers, there are many things. So sometimes the investment in visibility is actually not enough for them to show what they are doing. So you can see that people try to minimize what they should, because honestly, I mean, we could be focusing on one thing, but we can't. We have to do everything. So one of the things that we are going to do is to have a website that will actually navigate people through the different research groups. So we have had a bit of struggle actually to get everything together, because I think number one, the limitation of not having postdoctoral people supporting the centers. So I think this is a very important point. I think even for all of you, I'm sure you face a similar issue. Maybe Prof Chong with his millions may be able to sustain some postdocs. But you all know how difficult it is to try and get grants, and when you don't have enough support, it's very difficult even to get those grants. So I think it's a catch-22 situation. Most of you can see the activities that we have is related to population health. Clinical medicine is always impactful. I think the difference between all our centers would be that we have a hospital, we see our patients, we see the direct impact to the community, and we know in a way, like what Prof Chong said about how industry, and he was in industry before he came to academia, which gives you that worldview to answer very good research questions that will be impactful. So I think that I think the difference between people in the faculty of medicine and dentistry, because they see directly. So visibility, we have tried to engage through some, even before this, we have what we call science cafes in the Faculty of Medicine. But as you say, it's very difficult to find people across the faculties. Even now, I'm trying very hard to engage with Faculty of Economics and Business, because a lot of the work that we are doing now will eventually translate to how we can address the inequitable access to cancer care. So that is what I'm shouting out very loudly today, to find people who are interested in this area. But I'm sure you will see in that little slide where we have those dotted lines. So we have collaboration with Prof Fatima. Her students are doing some biosensors, and I think it's worked very well with men's health, the geriatricians. Now we're looking into sensor point of care test sensor for home use for breast cancer patients with lymphedema. That means they have arm swelling. We want to detect them early so that they can come and get the physiotherapy before it becomes irreversible. So there are a lot of things that I think individual researchers have collaboration. It's just that we don't have a repository where people can tap on the expertise. Only chance meetings like this, then suddenly you'll find, the plasma center does a lot of wound healing. Maybe there's something there, and the immune aspects of immunity and cancer. Now we have a lot of immune oncology targets that a lot of the cancer treatments are now in that realm. So I think it's all about discussing, meeting people. So I'm glad that I'm here. But don't be fooled. We have a lot of activities, but we are like up there, very, 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 very busy.
Yeah, I agree with you, Prof. Aisha. This is the platform. That's why we have this series. Now it's series 4. So we'll have series 6 and so on. Okay. We also want to encourage the interdisciplinary, not only working with researcher, but interdisciplinary within the center. Right? We can work within the center. That means the center, this plasma can work in the cancer, can be with Prof. Chong maybe, right? Okay. Prof. Chong, so I want to pose some questions to you. It seems that your center of energy, right? Again, there are a lot of very talented researchers, and it seems that these few years have been quite dormant for you, right? So, what is your next plan? So we can know the next strategy that you were going to have, so we can strengthen this your plan. Let's say what can we do? I mean, how do we help on this kind of visibilities?
I believe the pandemic impacted quite a lot on our progress, especially the lab work. And also, I'm not sure the KPI. Because from the center, we like to encourage multidisciplinary research. We want to have more collaboration with industry, society, but it seems like this kind of aspect is not easy to translate to the direct KPI of the university. And a lot of researchers may not that willing to do that. Because not say they're willing, they must fulfill, no? If not, maybe their contract, their year-end KPI have some issue. So as a center, which we do not have the authority to gauge their KPI, because their KPI is gauged by their head of department. So we are in the mood like we just work in a collaborative way, which not easy to translate the effort to the KPI that we want. Yes, from the center, we can see we encourage multidisciplinary research, we encourage collaboration, we encourage consultation, we encourage professional service in journal editorial board. But when you look at the mark allocated to the KPI, when you review one SCI paper, it gives you a certain weightage, but you review an internal grant, like you simply type a few words in the internal grant for your colleague, then you get maybe 5 times the weightage compared to review one. So I think I'm not sure, but my personal opinion from the ranking of our mechanical engineering, it dropped for the last few years. We was ranked 33, I think the best in the history in year 2016. But now, after 5 years, we are 107 for QS World Ranking. But from the different point allocation, the point system, we can see we maintain the publication side or H index. But what we drop quite a lot is the reputation, the student reputation and the academia reputation. So as a head of center, I believe what we need to do is not only the research center, but how to maintain the the world ranking. I think it affects a lot for the reputation of the university in worldwide. For example, like I can shed some light on why some China students choose University Malaysia, because we are top 100 U in the world. Because I think the government of China, they recognize or encourage the student go to overseas and go to the top 100 university, which is quite lucky, yeah, that we still stay on the top 100 for QS World Ranking. So they recognize QS World Ranking. But if mechanical, one day the government not recognize only the university, but recognize the discipline. Then maybe if it dropped from 33, which is top 50, now it's out of 100, then it could be affected. So our research should not only focus on IHI publication. We can see when we put it as a KPI and the staff work on it, put strong effort on it, we manage to maintain. But part like the reputation, the student reputation, the industrial reputation, we seem like we drop. So I hope we can encourage our member to work more with industry, get more industrial grant, but we at the same time hope the university, especially through IEEE, propose something to recognize more on the industrial partnership, collaboration, that not able to translate to the visible KPI in short time. If everyone wants to channel on paper publication and no one wants to do the industrial collaboration, then we seem like we not have a well-distributed strength throughout a team as like a department faculty member. I think that's all from me.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Chong, for the sharing here. I hope this will be translated into the top managements. That's why we need some of this dialogue all the time. Okay, and that's why we have it every month, so you can voice up your opinions or suggestions. Yeah, we are in universities, right? In research clusters also, we are encouraged industrial engagement so far, and we have a lot of initiative for this coming up soon. Okay, you have a blueprint, reshuffle the structures, and we will strengthen the industry collaborative works. Okay, Prof. Chong is the champion. He have received a lot of industry grants. So, Dato, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. I have to.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prof. Chong. I have to leave my
I just
student
want to
because
ask you some question here on the your CQR. I see you are the first the centers on the CQR, and you mentioned that a lot of CQR center is going to be established in other universities. Do you think the establishment will be a synergistics, will be all competitive to CQR in UM? So what your takes? Because a lot of centers say, hey, my centers, I have to protect my centers. Other center with similar research, I will go to kill them. They look at it as a threat instead of synergistics. How about in terms of CQR centers in UM? Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Thank you very much. But before I answer your question, I would like to highlight some obstacles we found in Center of Quranic Research. Like Prof. Chong mentioned as well just now, I got some little bit his words. Okay, I was in class and very sorry. I have to leave and I have to come here.
No problem.
In short, Center of Quranic Research is one of the center founded in University of Malaya during the time, maybe same with Professor Dr. Aisha as well for the cancer center during the time of Professor Tan Sri Gaus. Yeah, that's good. The aim is to create what we call a culture, collaboration, multidiscipline, professor, researchers, etc. So this is the main point we want to highlight.
But at the end of the result, when we have collaboration and we publish paper in Scopus or in ISI, what is the result during the time of interview? For example, panel we say, oh, you are from the Quranic studies. The paper is computer based. How should be promotion? So that point will be rejected. So the budaya, the culture we create, we aim to create, and the practice we get it, the result after that is nothing. So this is, I have to mention, even I am in the Tapisan Pusat professorship. Yeah, I always say like that. We create the culture, but we demolish it. We don't practice it accordingly. And that's why when the time of promotion still ask, oh, you come from Quran. How could you conduct the research in education? How could you conduct the research in computer science? I said this is a multidisciplinary research. We combine thinking from the colleague from the computer of science to develop this, to create this software, to conduct the research. But they don't believe it. They don't receive it, and it is very difficult to tell to TNC or to VC. But we have no choice. We have to tell them to make sure this culture not will have to change. Okay, so this is the point. The second one is during the time we set up the center, we receive from registrar pendaftar, we receive from TNC very good promising. Yes, when you set up, we'll give you kerani, we'll give you clerk, we give you this. Alhamdulillah, I got nothing. I got nothing. And I start from zero. And when I start from zero, we create account, we create etc. Wah, the bendahari another obstacles put my center under Academy of Islamic Studies. It's okay. That time I was a dean, I was a director. Fine. My otak for center, my otak for academy. Fine. But now when I finish my period as a director for Academy Islamic Studies, wah, all my accounts must go to my department and then go to my director. Hey, I said, why I have to go under the department? This is under TNC. Until now they cannot change it. They cannot do it. And so sometimes I don't want to say I give up, but yeah, please don't make me tired to deal with something. You can sort it out easily. Yeah, I told to Benahari, I tell them that please consider this. Okay, Pro Joanne, sorry, before I answer your question, this is
I think it's a good thing to let it out and share with all of us, and then we have a talk of that. Okay, if we keep to ourselves, right, I think in the end we go nowhere. At least you tell people we are moving, right? It's fine to have some suggestion and comments. These are democratic countries. I think it's totally fine, and we are academics. We should voice out our view. I think there's no issue on that. Okay, of course we at the center research cluster here trying to sort out these things one at a time. Yeah, and also we do voice out our what call opinions to TNC, because we always meet with the TNC, right? We see it less, but we always meet the TNC and we always voice out our opinions. Okay, but if you do not voice out, keep silent, we thought it's nothing. It's okay, everything is nice, no, we're happy, everyone has been happy. But we voice out, I think it's a good thing that academic doing now. Okay. Yeah.
Prof, thank you for your good response. And Dr. Prof. Naisha also would like to say something.
Yeah, Prof. Naisha, you want to say something? Yes, please. Yeah.
No, and I'm just commenting on how resilient we all are. You know, we work in very very difficult conditions, really, because we don't have like secretariat. Our secretariat staff is paid by grants, and once your grants finishes, you know, we are struggling to maintain those things. So I think if given better support, I think we will fly higher. You know, as you mentioned, I think even Prof. Chong was saying we are actually coming down in the ranks. So we have to be really careful, and I think a lot of support is needed really for the researchers in UM.
Yep.
Okay, in short, thank you, Praisha. Support the idea. In short, Prajuan, your question just now to me
Yeah,
regarding do I feel competition,
or threats.
when UKM just started UNISA. In one point, I feel that one because they got support from UKM. Their chancellery support their center in UKM, and UNISA, of course, UNISA their chancellery support for the setup a new center of Quranic research in UNISA. They really eager to conduct it. But at the meantime, I am in University of Malaya suffer with this time. No clerk, no staff based on research grant. My staff working based on the research grant. And when we finish research grant, I have to find another tabung to get money to cover their cost. So please, for me, from the first, I can say yes. I feel that types of competition they want to beat us, but based on our experience, they are not so easy to beat us because we already have name in international level. I'm worried when I finish, when I retired after 1 year. I'm worried whether my successor can follow, can go through or not, because I already set up for international level. When we mention Center of Quranic Research, oh yeah, University of Malaya. When we make announcement about some conference, seminar, etc., they call us. They would like to come and they would like to present a paper, etc. And they would like to make a collaboration with us. But please make ease, help us to set up the center properly, accordingly. Whatever we have to get it, please provide it at least staff or clerk at least in order to answer the phone, to deal with some of calling from outside. For example, we also offer for latihan industry. Students from other university, from USIM, from UIA, from other, come to my center, come to Center of Quran Research. They do latihan industry. We provide money, 300 ringgit for them every month. From where I got money, don't ask, because money from from the God. They are very happy. They would like to come. Sometimes they ask, can we send to your center 6 student for latte industry? How could I conduct? How could I deal with this situation if I have no support from the management? So in this case, I can say I don't feel they can beat us, but please aware, if our successor after this still found this type of obstacles, sometime we have to worry about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dato. So, Prof. Yap, again, yeah, your center, I think you will have facing the same problem as all
Yes.
other center are facing, and in the cluster, we are aware of that. So next week, we also going to have this reshuffle, or we're going to streamline the center, because there are too many center in UM. You know, many centers. I look at it, I also wow, we have so many centers. So streamline the center that really have productive and really have the focus on the niche area. Prof, yeah, your niche area is very unique. I mean, it's not unique in that sense. It have been there for quite some times, but you unique in the development of this plasma technology. So
Yes.
I'm wondering, right? In the plasma technology, have been discovered, and the researcher have won a Nobel Prize for discovering the plasma. So what is the next, or the niche this UM can be can be champion on the this center or plasma center in your view?
Um, Very good questions. As I show you the milestone that we make from the big mega M bank into the kilo M bank, it tells us that creating plasma is challenging and also burning money. For example, fusion research, no one can beat ITER that have
Yep.
eaten how many billion. So in that kind of work, UM have been lacking behind ever since retirement of Professor Lee Sing. We have not received a big major donation from overseas after that, because and then if we want to equip ourselves with all this high-end diagnostic, uh, each of that may cost 1 million, which is not supported by any grant that I can apply. So in the challenge of this big energy plasma, we definitely cannot beat them. However, in the low temperature plasma or the non-thermal plasma, we can manage something like a desktop size. We can manage a power supply in a region of uh, few 10,000 of ringgit, maybe 50,000 or 60,000 ringgit. If we get a grant, then we can still afford and refurbish our old device. In that, I think we are in a very good position, still leading the plasma research in Malaysia. 2 years back, when I hold the regional conference, beside overseas country, from Malaysia, we have attracted about 13 institutions which have small or big initiative to look at plasma application. So we can collaborate, we can guide them, we can share our knowledge from the vast experience we have on the plasma generation. It looks simple, it's just a word of plasma, but there are many parameters in there. So the room for researcher to explore, to take the lead, is there. It depends how innovative you are. Of course, there is another challenge that Prof. Chong is doing very well in the industry
Not
collaboration.
really.
I'm now in Nagoya University. Yeah, this plasma is placed under their innovation center, top of their innovation center. They receive 10 million US dollar a year, not from government, from industry.
Wow.
80 to 90% of the lab contributed from industry. So they're very, very well equipped. The same thing like the LIF, I don't have any. I can only imagine they can have multiple. The spectrometer, I have the small spectrometer, which cost me 10, 20, 30,000. They have the $1 million spectrometer, they have multiple. But these are not from government support, it's from industry. So in Malaysia, this is what we lack on. I probably need to learn from Prof. Chong. I have many interaction with industry, but to the point that you ask them, hey, can you invest 100,000 on my research? They say, no, 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 no. Please give me the product. Please give me the product first, then I will commercialize it. Or we can join apply for grant. Okay, we join apply for grant. But industry have to contribute 50%. Can it be less? All the joint grant industry have to put in. And now the ministry also clever. It say, you must not put in kind, you must put in really contribute how much you contribute. So that is a main challenge. Although plasma research in a very good position for industry, but in Malaysia, we do not have the industry that have the awareness and that have the urge to support research. That is a main obstacle I see. So I will aim on small, needing plasma, for example, agriculture. We rather use our fundamental research grant to solve fundamental problem and help the community. Hopefully some major discovery can solve big issue in time. And we can achieve this not only by ourselves, we have a lot of collaborator. I'm happy that in the plasma research community worldwide, is the environment is very conducive. Everyone is willing to help. Whether we want to borrow equipment, we want to visit the lab, we want to share knowledge, we want to know what they do, it's very easy, very accessible. So the international collaboration will make us strong. Just like what Daduk said, established the reputation over the years. So same thing for PTRC. We already established a reputation. So internationally, we have no problem.
Okay. Prof. Yap, I want to ask further that you mentioned just now that still my interest is you say that Japan, right, is supported by the industry. You learn how and why this industry supports 10 million per year. to your university that you're having attachment now to Nagoya universities? Why they willing to spend that much of money?
Because their industry need it. It's the need that they will pay on. For example, lithography. You want to advance your lithography technology. You want it to be, let's say, more vertical, deeper, high output. All this, how do you achieve? You need research to support. And Japan industry in general, they are very much into fine-tuning their process, and they're very much into advancing their technology. They do not hesitate to advance their technology. Unlike maybe in Malaysia, the industry say, oh, as long as I can do it, that is enough. Why should I make it a little bit more?
I see.
Right? And the market is huge. Not like Malaysia, the market is not much. I make 10 per day, or I make 100 per day, doesn't matter. After all, I only sell eight a day, so let it be.
I see.
This is what I think.
Okay.
And speaking here, I think there are many industry pattern also, which is not openly shared because it's industry funded.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
my acknowledgement, please take my acknowledgement to Nagoya University.
Okay. Thanks, Prof. Yap. Prof. Aisha, I come back to you. So your center about the cancer, right? Okay. You mentioned about the lot of activity here. Do you see that the others, do you need other researcher to help on your centers? I know that you have a lot of researcher from medical side. How about researcher, for example, from physics, plasma, or for Prof. Chong from energy, or Prof. Datuk from Quranics? Is it
Yeah,
something that you
definitely.
can think
I
of
think
how to,
definitely.
maybe
I think,
in that
yeah.
center, you need to consult patient with their, in their Islamic, so that the Datuk can come in to do some on this study or something like that. So you see that a collaborative work within your centers instead
Yeah,
of
we do
focus on
see
medical.
a lot of collaboration. So I think one thing about the impact research grant that started, I think about two years back,
Yeah, 2 years back,
really
yes.
helped to reframe what research is, because the problem, like what Prof. Datuk Yaakob was mentioning about how panel, when you go for any of this grant application, the panel does not understand what your research is all about because it's interdisciplinary. So I think we are on the right track. The impact research has made a lot of, how can I say, marriage between faculties. So in my own work, I'm actually working with a gender specialist in the Faculty of Arts, Women's Studies. So Dr. Lai Swatyan. So she has looked into the social, cultural, and religious barriers in the Taman Medan area to understand how we can modulate the messages that we give out to improve the uptake of screening, early detection, and all that. And even my PhD student, I think she communicated with, I think it was a Sharia lawyer, about the use of genetic testing and risk management for our genetic carriers for cancer. So there are many opportunities. So as you know, the social aspects of the community will affect their help-seeking behavior. So for Muslim people, sometimes they misunderstand the religion and use it as a barrier to seeking help, and using more alternative medication. And I think I like to say that they don't realize actually Islamic medicine is what is the best for the human race. Doesn't matter if it comes from a Muslim, non-Muslim, but if it's the best treatments, that is Islamic medicine. So these are the things I think, Dato' Yaakob, definitely I think if you can change the narrative, bring in more of a positive way of getting people to come forward earlier, we can improve our survival rates by about 20%.
Wow.
Because right now our cancer patients are presenting stage 3 and 4. Just by downstaging, you can improve survival by 20%. So this is the next goal, I think, from Ministry of Health and all of us who are working in the cancer control space. We want to downstage cancer in Malaysia. So definitely, I think if you have, people will listen to clerics and Muslim scholars, and this is definitely something we can look into. And for the technology aspects, we are looking for ways of detecting cancer earlier. So we do have some molecular type of collaborations with our proteomics lab in Faculty of Medicine. So even within Faculty of Medicine, we have many different types of researchers. So we have the clinicians, you have the molecular scientists, right? In fact, a lot of our work has been with looking at breast cancer genetics is with Cancer Research Malaysia under Professor Teo Su Huang. So she's a molecular geneticist. So we have been collaborating with Cambridge and all this. And our papers are very impactful in the sense that we are representing more Asian patients into those studies. Most of the international consortia, they don't include Asian patients. So we have even got a New England Journal publication, and even though that is exciting, but we just, for me, I mean, we provide samples and all that, but to use that information for my patients' care, to know that my patients are represented in that pool of like more than 100,000 women helps to, strengthen the way we speak to patient, providing evidence for local patients, things like that. Yeah. So collaboration, we are open, and you can see there are 18 groups of people doing cancer work in Faculty of Medicine Dentistry. I'm sure I'm not sure how we can do, like matchmaking, because I know a lot of the universities are very active doing this sort of thing. But I think just reach out, and maybe we can leave some like emails. In fact, during this thing kan, Dr. Joanne, we should actually write a directory of, the emails and send it out on the UM mail, so that people can reach out and we can find people who are interested in this type of research.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
that's the things. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Thank you for your thought on that also.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I would like Prof. Joanne, sorry,
Yeah.
thank you very much for Dr. Aisha. I think this is very good offer. I'm looking forward. Inshallah, we contact you. We also have some research about the cancer from Quranic perspective, and I just see your email. Inshallah, I contact you. Thank you. That's very good platform we share, and also Mr. Prof. Chong. Even I couldn't get his idea before I was in the class, but I will listen to the recording. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Dato'. That's a good
Yeah.
start. At least we have make some move here.
Prof. Chong should have classes, how to get industry to donate money, and
Yeah.
that will be very useful.
Okay,
for
Prof.
the-
Chong, I think a lot of people interested on how you get the industry can. So can you share some of your experience how to attract the industries, okay, to support your research? Yeah, Prof. Chong, especially your center. I mean, support money to support your center as well, right? In the end.
Well, to be frank, I split my research into two. One is academic research and one is more to industrial collaboration. I still having difficulty to really match my core research project with the industry. Only recently, with the dialogue with the academia industrial dialogue with Petronas, it seems like Petronas have the 5 years or 10 years plan to move into renewable energy. And one of the main area they would like to venture into is the offshore wind turbine. Since they have some oil rig platform that can be refurbished, they are thinking on how to convert the oil rig platform into the wind turbine supporting structure. And they may not want to use it directly in our country, but they want to be some sort of technology provider one day. If we can have a innovative, a new technology, they may want to take it from maybe TRL 3 to 4 until prototyping. They are thinking to work with us, at various stages. if they can get some prototype, convincing prototype at TRL4, maybe they can sell the idea. If they can get a real prototype or scale down prototype, so at every stage they are planning their business strategy. So I can say the only thing that I can see my core research activity that match the demand or requirement from industry is that when their interest and our strength match, but most of the time it's difficult. It's difficult because when we want to work in industry, we need to allocate our, I can say, full steam to solve their problem, and the given timeline sometimes clash with our teaching timetable, our grant application, our so many progress report for our grant. I'm quite stressed out with the progress report actually, and to spend the money is not easy. Now, if you give me cash, few million, I can spend in few days maybe. But if you give you 20,000 to spend with the grant, sometimes I need to open bidding, do a lot of computer work, especially during work from home period. So it's not easy. The whole spending mechanism for our grant is not easy as well, I can say. So it need to get a matching point between industry and industry is more to problem solving.
Okay.
More to problem solving. And not many local industry are really interested to develop their own product, I can say. That is something we can't help much. It needs to be done in the under national policy. Why our local industry, our SME, not really like to develop their own product, you can say. You can see until now, if we compare to a region like Taiwan, with a similar I can say number of population, the development history in terms of technology. Taiwan has come up with a lot of brands, but Malaysia seems like we are more willing to become a supporting industry. When I work in this UK company, Dyson is a world leader in vacuum cleaner.
Yep.
It seems like Malaysian engineer can do everything, to be frank. But if you can imagine, if Malaysia government set up a company like this and hire Malaysian engineer, we can produce something like that. I believe. And even the assembly, the part manufacturing, all done by the local industry.
Wow.
What Dyson do is they coordinate the thing, spend the money on production line, the tooling, but direct the local supplier to produce everything. Produce everything, pack and send to the destination they require. They pay $80, but to the main con, and they sell $400 to the end user.
Wow.
No? But our company is more, our industry is more willing to do supporting work, like do plating, do packaging, do assembly. I think something like we don't like to take risks, maybe. And now we have no brand in this country. I'm not sure, maybe I missed something, but if you ask me to try to spell out a few famous brands from Malaysia, it seems like other than Proton, Perongwa, not many.
I think even the health industry, I think a lot of our SMEs, when they want to bring in as supporting they bring in technology from abroad. You see, for healthcare in Malaysia, 38% of our healthcare is spent out of pocket, The government is not really spending a lot for our health. We actually pay a lot on our own. Personal insurance also not really paying much for our
Yeah.
healthcare, right? So this is a very, very good market to sell anything and everything. So a lot of this, pseudo scientific type of tests that is created somewhere else, in Korea or I'm not sure Taiwan, but I've seen one from Korea. They actually bring it here and expecting it to be taken up by the health people to do screening for breast cancer, for example. When you know that the evidence that they have produced is not enough for the government to pay for that for the people, so they have wasted their time and money investing into this product that doesn't really work, because we have very stringent standards. We have a health technology assessment agency in the Ministry of Health that will look through. You can't just put something as screening and expect the government to buy it and use it for the rest of the whole of the country, because people like us, the doctors and the researchers that manage the health technology assessments, will look very carefully at the evidence. If it's not enough support to use this for the public, we will say no. And whatever political will you have, you will never be successful. Let me tell you that, if you want to do that. So that is why I think we need to educate the small, medium enterprises. When they want to bring in tests, please, talk to your experts in the country to understand whether this is something worth doing. Because I think for them, they should have put their energies on something else. I think we need to educate our industry better also.
Yeah. True,
Yeah.
true, true.
Yeah, thanks for your opinion here. I agree the industry here not to be educated. We need to share, right?
Share. We need
How share? We use the
yeah,
share. We
share.
educate, they seem will be offended. You use a
Offended lah.
share
Yeah.
how to become a global company, something like that. So it might, in the end, they will think about it. Actually, yeah, our company is small, but we can do more. I think that's the thing we need to share again with them, how the multinational company do so well, right? There must be a reason for that. Then we need to share these informations. Come to you, Dato. About Quranic studies, it's so diverse, different people have different interpretations on the Qurans, right? And of course, and we talk about Qurans, you have different mazhab, you call it, right? You have a Shia, and then you have different mazhab. I don't know all of them, but I knew few of them. So come to this interpretation, do you feel that is quite tough for your center, right? To study this like Quranic, so you have a different opinion from different groups of people, maybe UNISA or other universities or other centers or other country will come to you and hey, your interpretation or your way of doing this is not correct, or you do the way you do it will be offended to other people. So how you maintain the centers to be a global and to be a recognized internationally of Dato' Yaakob. So can you share your experience on the center?
Yeah, thank you very much, Prof. Joanne, for your very good question. Alhamdulillah, actually, when I set up the center, I have no problem with all of them. Participants who come to join us in our international conference also come from Shia group and also come from Iran, come from Iraq, from Algeria, from Morocco, so many places. So far, maybe because the name of University Malaya as well, very good name, they come because to know about the University Malaya as well, and they also would like to come to Asia, to Malaysia because. They believe Malaysia is a very flexible country, democratic and safe country to come and discuss. Even when they come for the conference, they also intend to continue their study, and some of them be committed as our PhD student or master student because they believe our discipline and our system is in place. So in this case, I have no problem. I have no problem. Even my postdoc also come from Iran, I have no problem with them. During the time we have a lot of grant, we have so many postdoc, and they work in our center. Some of them from Iran, some of them from Bangladesh, and from Ivory Coast. So many. So in this case, Prof, I have no problem, especially when they discuss, they approach me, whatever good for me, for my center, for our university, especially for publication and research, I welcome them, all of them. Whatever we have different opinion, we respect each other. This is the way we deliver. As a leader, we have to be like that. If we are very fanatic with our opinion, you cannot be accepted by many of them. So this is the way we run. And so far, oh, if you see people from Saudi Arabia, they're so rigid, brother. Yes, Prof, they're so rigid. Oh, during the time they have conflict with Qatar, they cannot meet each other. And researcher from Iraq fighting in front of me, and I make harmonize them. So for me, I have no problem with all the idea of thinking, because our aim is research. Whatever from the Quranic perspective and Sunnah is correct, we do together and we publish it. For your information, Prof, even our journal Quranica, I received so many articles from Iran, from Iraq, from Shi'i group, and from so many group. Their idea of thinking, whatever so really dangerous. So we write to them. Yeah, very sorry because we cannot accept the article like this is not so accepted for proper promotion for something fighting, etc. So they respect us because we answer them. The system, we will answer to them. Okay. So in this case, I have to make every year a special issue, Prof. Special issues just to manage the article to be published in our journal. We have regular issue in December and in June every year. We maintain and we target to get scopus in short, with guidance from the cluster, from the center, from your good self. I hope our Quranica can go until Scopus. We target for the Scopus. But at the meantime, we receive so many Arabic articles, and we have to make special issues. Last special issues, we published more than 22 articles, special issues. And in order to cover, this is the secret matter I have to tell you, Prof. When we got problem with the money, do it. So for the special issues, we charge them. We charge them, we deal with bandaris. But article from Tanzania, they cannot pay. Writer from Tanzania complain 3 times. I do payment through credit card online. Rejected. Our system rejected. So this is some of obstacle. We would like to generate income for our center. We charge for special issues 100 USD for the article accepted, and they contribute, they pay. But the method of payment, the way to accept money, Bendahari still we cannot. Yeah, I couldn't understand. Please help. Please help. Please, center cluster help us to handle this basic thing, because credit card should be no problem. But from Tanzania, from Iran, from Algeria, from Nigeria, always problem to accept the money. Thank you, Prof.
Yeah, Dato', we will take notes on that. We may have a send me email, and then we can have a discussions with the top management or Sebendari. If you talk to them alone, maybe not so productive.
Maybe.
You talk in them in group,
Good.
maybe make a difference. We are trying different way. You have tried your way of talking with them. We tried a different way talking with them with the group. Then we can solve not all the issue or some of the issue. For example, Iran definitely is maybe is country have been under these sanctions. Yeah, maybe you have problem with that. I think Tanzania is not under sanction. I'm not sure. Let's do that. Okay, thank you, Dato'.
I'm worried if after this I have researcher from Afghanistan, they will say Taliban, no money accepted.
It might be a problem because it's a it's a sanctioned country. That's a problem, though.
Okay, Prof.
We move to Prof. Aisha. It's come to the end of our session, Prof. Aisha. Can you have a last message or take-home message for the participants here, so that we can again, the objective is to strengthen the collaborative works and also the center visibility of the centers. Do you have any last word here?
Yeah, I think it's a very good way to share. I think what we're doing, we don't get enough visibility because we have enough time already to spend on other important things. So we will try our best to be more visible. So our secretariat is trying their best to get the website up so that people know what we do. So do reach out. I'm going to put my email here. Do reach
Yeah,
out.
please.
You say, I'm actually a breast cancer surgeon, but I have many colleagues who are doing many different things. So we have men's health, we have hepatobiliary cancer, cervical cancer, many different things. So please contact us. And we're also interested in things like health informatics, artificial intelligence, which we are working with Prof. Sarinder from Faculty of Science, and also people from the other faculty. Yeah, so we are doing many things. So please reach out. I'll just put my email there so that you can contact me if you need to. So that's all from me, and hopefully, Dr. Joanne, you can bring up all the issues with the VC and the top management. We need to have support. I think with support, we can definitely fly better.
Okay, Prof. Aisha, we are doing something on. I told you next week we have the workshop on the COR. We will try to streamline the COR with the niche area, and then we will help out them. Those are past the line and so on. We evaluate based on the performance and so on. We will try to help out the COR. This is also our in our pipeline. Okay,
Yeah, we didn't
definitely in
mention.
our pipeline, because
Yeah,
we
we
receive a
didn't.
lot of feedback from there. So it's on our pipeline. So next week we organize these workshops, and you see where we can help. Because
Yeah.
all the time we have evaluations, but after evaluation, good, not good, we just
Mm.
put one side, right? And then we do not help this center. I think you fill up this form, but what happened to the form? It's got not good. Also, the center still the same and so on. But this time we want to do it differently. Those center really flying, right? This is very good. We will try to help them, unless we at least with some manpower. That's our intentions. We have convey this message to DNC, and seem to be positive again. Positive, that means at least he will talk to the another top management. So Prof. Chong, what is your last take home message? Yep, from you. Prof. Chong, you are muted. Prof. Chong, you are muted.
Sorry. So what I can encourage the researcher is, let's work together, and try to get collaborator, maybe international collaborator as well, for whatever project they want to start. And for the publication, it's good to have multi-institution publication. And I want to say, I can't see any advantage of having the article of submission as a single author. Because some people maybe want to be solo, try to be a single author, which he or she think it carry a higher weightage. But from my experience, which I learned from it didn't carry much. But if you work with more people, you'll gain citation in a later day. I think more. I think that's what I can encourage. And if you have industrial collaborator, you try to include the industrial collaborator in your research work. It will help in one day, maybe you apply for the member of professional body, or for example, in the engineering aspect, when we have a co-author with the industry for our publication, it will recognize when we apply for our professional engineership. I think that's all from me.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Chong. very good take-home message for your centers. We need to work together. For industries, right? They also convey message to us. If publication, we should include the engagement in industries. So we have to re-look into this. That means you carry more weightage if you have an industries affiliation in your publications. We look into closer into this. And she did. I mean the TNC, Prof. Sansa do mentions about this because this is one of the UST KPI. We are score very low in this region, in this mark. Okay, Prof. Chong, thank you very much.
Before I forgot, I
Yeah.
think Prof. Dato Yaakob give us some very good insight from his secret. You can see from his conference organization and journal publication, even as a guest editor, I think he gained a lot. The center gained a lot, the university gained a lot, and the country gained a lot. We should come out with a unit that help us to streamline the journal publication or conference organization. But if you think you organize a conference like Prof. Dato, maybe 100, 200 people coming to the conference. And the cost of organizing maybe is break even with the conference fee. No? But the university gain the reputation, gain the recognition from at least 200 participants. But if you have to send 200 academic staff to international conference and publicize our university, I think the cost is a few fold compared to that. And the impact is not that high. I think that is a strong message or a valuable secret that Prof. Dato gave us this morning. I think I strongly agree with that.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Yaakob, we come to you. And I think I also agree with Prof. Chong that the conference and your journal do play a very impactful in Malaysia and also the Islamic world. Okay, for the conference, I can add a bit. If you organize conference, you can contact myself. If you want the email address, I can contact myself. They will give you funding for this type of work. You can bring in international participants. Okay, I think if you can bring in more than 50 participants, they're definitely going to support you. The money that they support is not small, it's big money. Because I organize a few conference with my organization, I mean ICAM, Institute Kimia Malaysia, they support million, sometimes up to million. But we promise them about 1,000 international participants because this international conference. If last time we support is about hundreds of participants, they can support us up to few 100,000. Even with venue promotions, even you going for visiting the country, look at for accommodation also, they can able to support. I think not fully support, but half of the money they can support.
Okay.
You can contact myself. I can give you the contact. Prof. Chong also the same. If you want to organize conference, if you can bring in international participants, the requirement is international participants. You can promise you can bring in more than 50.
The information or contact.
You can promise that if you can bring in 50, in the end of the day, you have to show them the name and so on. If you can convince them, you can bring in 50, they're willing to support. Yeah. Dato' Faz, your take-home message or your last message for all this.
That's all very good. Even you conclude all my point. Would like to say.
Sorry,
sorry. It's okay. But if I still have one word to say, if you can help us to upgrade our journal, send your consultant help us to upgrade our journal to be now our journal is international journal. In what we call my site it is in my site, but I need to go more for Scopus because until now so many Arab people from Middle East University, they got promotion when they sent to my journal, to our sacred journal. Yeah, they got promotion and they beat each other. Please, they're willing to pay. So I hope this is part of strategy secret Prof. Chong to earn money for my center as well. So please help us upgrading our journal to be Scopus. If you got a way to shortcut or send somebody to help us, I really appreciate. Regarding conference, inshallah, I have no problem, and of course I appreciate Dr. Prof. Nur Aisyah also for her offer, collaborate research, inshallah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I also post the MySep information here. Okay, so you can contact them. If anything, you can contact me. I will, directly WhatsApp the head. Okay, because we have a close relationship with the MySep because we organize the international conference all the time, and we do get support. At least 100,000, 50,000, at least cover a lot of things for us. Okay, thank you, Dato'. Also, the Prof. Yap also sent her regard because her line is not very good. I want to end this session by thanking all the speakers here, spending their precious time to share about their center, to share about their research, and share about their experiences, right? This is not the end of this COR sessions. Again, we have a next session sharing sessions series 5 next month. Stay tuned. Okay, so we are going to get another 3 center of research to share their, again, same thing as our renowned professor here. We will share their thought and their center. Thank you very much again. I would like to thank on behalf of the Frontier of Natural World research clusters and also the under the visibility pillar. I will thanks again to all of you and good luck. And definitely we will convey your opinion or suggestions and your comment to the top management. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye
Thank
bye
you.
and
Thank
have
you.
a nice day.
Bye.
Stay
Bye.
safe.
Have a nice day. Bye.